little bit windy today, but also sunny. Means I can glue this in finally. Okay, phase one is now done. That's literally all I had to do today. As luck would have it, I've come down with the flu. Sort of. Well, we'll see. I'll be healthier in the next day or two. But my only mission was to glue that on. It's not perfect. I've got to come around with the router and fix it all up. Better if it's in place, then I don't have to think too hard about it. Trying to clamp it onto benches I don't have, with clamps I don't have. The next thing I need to do is I need to run the engine. So let me do that. Whilst the pitter-patter of rain trickles down on the coach roof and outside looks messy, I need to install that bracket over here, and then maybe we can get the cable hooked up to the gearbox. So that's potentially something I can do while it's raining outside, and I think that will be a great idea. But now I need to find all these things. Here are the screws for it. And then I need to find on here the drill bit for it. I've got to go through all of that to find the correct drill bit. One moment, please. All right, that's where it used to be. Let's do a small pilot hole. Now, I'm not going to do the bottom one until I've aligned the two. This to that. I need to make sure that I don't have any issues. And boy, do I need to clean up in here. All right, where's that cable gone? I put it somewhere safe. Now, I don't know where that somewhere safe is. Yeah, but I also need to remove some cables to get them out of the way. One of which is the engine cutoff. This one right here. This thing is completely toast. It does absolutely nothing. It broke. So it has to be moved. And in a shocking turn of events, as fast as it came, the sun just randomly came out while I was drilling a hole. You can't keep up with this place. It is pretty though. It is pretty.
Right, now that I've found the new cable, I can actually start pushing it through this hole and winding it through the engine room to get it into the right place. Turns out it was more complicated than I thought.
Alright, so I'm not going to do the full thing. I'm just going to put it in place. Lock it in place. Yeah, of course it fell. Way down, and I'm not going to find it ever again. Fuck's sakes. Alright, so I should actually look for the other screw, which has now fallen somewhere down there. Maybe I'll be lucky and it didn't fall in a hole. Yes, I am super lucky. It didn't fall far. Alright, this needs to get set up on here and accelerate. Yeah, I just need to find out where that limit is, and I need to set the other side. It's a pity. This was actually shiny clean before the fire. I had polished all of this. I will give it another clean a little bit later. But at least the cable is in place, and that's the main thing, because it gets me out there. Before I carry on with the cabling, which is going to require a little bit of finagling on the engine side, I have received this. So I need to start building up a small control panel for the engine, and I got this thing. Let's check it out. This is just a very cheap ass little display that should give us water temperature, voltage, and something else. I'm not sure, I don't remember now. I ordered this quite some time ago. This will give us water temperature. I know where this is going to go on the engine. And what is all this? Oil? Okay, well, we have a bunch of things and I need to figure them all out. There is a very Chinesey manual which I'm hoping has a, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, just so that I have something. At the moment I have nothing, so I need something. Oil pressure, water temperature, and voltage. That's fine. It's something that I don't really have at the moment, at least nothing reliable, so I'm happy to do that. I should turn it on and see if it works. I've got my small batteries over here, so let's have a look and see if we can do something here. Red and black, that should be ground, or there we go. Stick that in there, give us something. Let's test it. You go there. You go there. We have an oil problem. Alright, well, this looks like it'll work. It seems very straightforward. We need to plug things in. I think that means the sensor is not plugged in, which it isn't. Alright, I think this will work. This is a perfectly reasonable, cheap, temporary / for the next few years way for me to monitor things. Cool. That will go onto our new board that I still have to build.
Well, actually, if I'm honest, I do have one of these for the gearbox, which is still hooked up and does kind of work. It, you know, once the gearbox is running, the pressure does go up. And then this is the engine one, which also does actually work. It does work. But I'm tired of these cables and leaking, these old school manual things. They're great. I can't bitch too much about it, but it's a mess that I have to deal with rather sooner than later. I'm going to use one of these old boards that I made years ago, maybe a year and a bit ago, when I was testing different patterns and ways of doing the non-skid. I'm going to use them to make a board to mount all of the various controls and the start switch for the engine as a temporary mount, and put it somewhere downstairs so that I've got display and engine controls. The V-Berth cleaning up though has made mess elsewhere. It really is how it goes. You can't clean up one place and I'll make mess in another place. But I've thrown out 3 bags of rubbish. This week's just been cleaning up, and it doesn't look like it, but I'm probably going to need another week, which is why this video is late. And I'm really sorry about that. And there's not much in the way of interesting content. So thank you if you've come along anyway. I really do appreciate it. Let me get back into the V-Berth. There's more to do there. But watching me clean the V-Berth is never going to be that exciting, but I needed to do a few other things. One is to remove this old alternator. So this is me struggling a lot to remove many rusty bolts and get this old alternator off. New one has been ordered, and in fact I got an SMS saying that it's getting delivered. So that is why I decided to prioritize this over more cleaning of the V-Berth. Although, make no mistake, I am still very much cleaning the V-Berth. What you've just seen is me removing the alternator. Let's have a look and see what we actually have to deal with on this side now that the alternator's off. I have ordered a new one. It is arriving in the next day or two. But I do need to prepare this side of the engine. It's looking manky. Let me show you. I mean, I've been chipping away at it at this point, and you can see the state of that bracket as well as this bracket. I definitely need to do something about this. I can't leave it like that. So I should take this off, clean it, spray it, etc. Fix up the block, vacuum up all this mess that I've made. I've now dropped powder everywhere. I definitely need to clean this up. So that will be my mission for the next day or two before I install the new one. As for the old alternator, I mean, I think you can see that this is terrible condition. This thing is falling apart. It stopped working yonks ago. Yeah. Not great. So let me get started on that. Wow, look what's come in. This is an unboxing. Brand new alternator. Can't wait to put this in, but it's not going to go into that rusty mess. I will continue to clean up that rusty mess, and this will probably only go in a week or two's time. What I have done, however, is off camera I made this little thing. So I've got my new hours meter, which will wire up to the alternator. I've got my engine oil, and I've got my gearbox oil. These are old school, rusty, not working so well, but they do work. And then I'll mount that new digital one here somewhere, and then a start button that I've got in the engine room, and then I'll have something to monitor the engine with. Right, and then a shock move, which should shock absolutely nobody. The weather's taken a turn, as it does. That's it for this week. I really struggling with those bolts. I drenched them in penetrating oil and I've got like the ones come out, but the other two are just absolutely not coming out. And one of them, quite typically, is imperial and the other one is metric. Don't ask me. This is all before me. So it's been a real bitch getting that one bolt off. I don't have imperial tools because I'm in metric land, but I will find one. It's somewhere between a 12 and a 13, something eighth, I don't know, fractions. That will come out and I'll clean it, paint it. I've got to do the engine. I've run out of that white paint that I've been using on the engine, which is a Rust-Oleum, sort of a matte white, but it's got a high heat resistance. It's from their motoring range, or Rust-Oleum motoring range. Anyway, long story short, that's got to be done, and then I can start working on the alternator. I'm also still cleaning, so I haven't really filmed much the last 2 days because I've just been throwing out garbage. I mean, that's not exciting to see at all. I've just been emptying the V-Berth, putting things in bags, taking stuff home and throwing things in the bin. This is not exciting stuff, and it's not the kind of thing I think anybody wants to see me clean up. Hopefully next week things will be a little bit tidier downstairs and we can start moving some things into the V-Berth. I need to do a wash, so maybe I'll come in this weekend with a bucket of hot water and some soap and actually give the entire V-Berth a proper clean. And maybe I'll show you that, because I know lots of you must be getting frustrated at the state of things. That's it then. Thank you so much everyone who has returned. Apologies for the delays in these videos and not coming out every week as I'd intended. Again, I'm still struggling with filming on my phone and getting information off and editing. It just makes everything a lot more complicated and takes a lot longer to do. But I am definitely still shopping around for a new camera, and as soon as I find something I can afford, I will 100% do that. If you'd like to help in that endeavor, there is a buy me a coffee link down at the bottom, and you're welcome to do that or not. Next week, more cleaning, maybe some painting, and if the weather holds out, I can get back to some more glass work in the head. I want to try and get as much of that done so that I can start working on finishing in the head. So I will see you all then. Cheers everybody, bye bye.